What is up, everyone? It's your girl Mangoes, and we're gonna do a deep dive into the iPhone 16 Pro. I've had this phone for about a year, and I'm gonna dive into what I liked, what I disliked, is it worth the upgrade, and should you upgrade in the future? Let's dive right in. Alright, so I feel like it's important to note that I am upgrading from the iPhone 13 Pro. So 3 years, I feel like it's a pretty decent upgrade, and I believe I believe I was able to maximize the most out of the upgrade. First, I'll be touching on the durability. Now, I get my phone, I put it in the case immediately, screen protector immediately. That is what I do immediately. I get my phone. So as you can see, there's no visible scuffs. I think maybe on the bottom, probably from putting the charger and missing it in the dark, maybe, but it's pretty much been holding up. I have been wearing this without a case all day just for today. I feel like I can't really touch much on durability because I protect my phone as much as possible, and I actually love my Apple case. I don't know if everyone can say the same, but I am absolutely in love with my Apple case. I've dropped it a couple times. It's held up pretty well, and it's cute. So like I said, I had the Pro. So initially I got the Pro Max because I wanted a bigger phone. I wanted more screen real estate. And because I edit on CapCut a lot, I feel like it would be easier to, slide, cut, paste, merge, and all this stuff. And I found my hand cramping so bad. I'm 5'1", by the way, so my hands are fairly small. So I wanted to go from the 13 Pro to a Pro Max, and it was too big. So I had the phone for about a week, and it was glitchy. The phone I had was glitchy. The keyboard was glitchy, and everybody was saying that it's gonna get fixed with updates. And I think I had like about 2 updates before I finally turned it back into T-Mobile, and I was like, yeah, this is not gonna work. So it was 2 reasons why I turned in my phone. But yeah, it was way too big for me, so I returned it, and I got the regular Pro. And the Pro this year was about 0.02, was it 0.2 inches bigger. So the Pro models used to be 6.1 inches, and the 16 Pros are 6.3 inches. So I guess that size kind of helped out just a tad bit. Okay, but other than that, I love the Pros because it fits in my pocket. I'm just a girl, so we barely even have pockets. So it fits in my pocket, it fits in my pocketbook, and it's very comfortable in my hand. I can easily do one-handed. I can reach across the screen. I rarely ever have to do the pull down feature, so that's extremely helpful. Onto display. Okay, so I've always been a Pro girl. Before my 13 Pro, I had an 8 Plus. So I'm pretty sure that was a 60 gigahertz screen. But the ProMotion on the Pro models is what actually gears me towards the Pro models, because when you look at a 60 hertz phone, like Apple is 2005, and you see like just how it just seems slow to me. So I'm sorry, I'm a very fast-paced person. I love the 120 hertz screen on the Pro models. The screen gets fairly bright. When a lot of the times that I've been in direct sunlight, it is still kind of hard to see. So the iPhone 16 Pros has a peak brightness of 2000 nits, but in sunlight, direct sunlight, it's pretty difficult. And this is usually with all the iPhones I've had. It's still kind of difficult to see through the sun, but maybe it's just me thing. I have 20/20 vision, so to the glory of God. But it hasn't been really too bad. I love the smoothness of the ProMotion. I can close out of apps, and it's just super smooth. I don't have to go into any developer. I don't even know if Apple has like developer modes or anything, but it's been really smooth. Next is the chip. The iPhone 16 models, well, 16 Pro models are loaded with the Apple Bionic A18 chips. I am obviously coming from a 13, so I believe that was what, minus 3 years ago. So like 15 or 14 chip. And because of the promotion, I genuinely couldn't see a difference, right? At first, but and I'm not really a phone gamer. I'm more of a CapCut editor. I do social media for my church. I do social media for myself for Mango Techno. You guys gonna follow. So that is really what I use my phone a lot for. I'm not necessarily my power user, maybe not necessarily. I scroll a lot, obviously social media. Now this phone is super fast. Like I feel like with Apple phones and the silicone Apple phones and the silicone chips, you're not really gonna feel much of a lag. I do, however, have had instances of my phone overheating. It would get super hot. Apart from you're driving and you're using the navigation and the phone is in direct sunlight. But there has been times where my phone gets significantly warm. Maybe when I'm on FaceTime, which I feel like it's a normal reason for a phone to overheat, but I am wondering if Apple will include and I've been hearing for the 17 Pros they will include a vapor chamber cooling, so I think that will help with the overheating. But other than that, it handles CapCut beautifully. It handles all my editing apps. It handles it very beautifully, and I don't really have much to say. This is coming from someone that is like a normal user. When I say normal, maybe not too normal, but I sometimes I average like 6 to 8 hours of screen on time, and we'll get to the battery life. That's literally next. But other than that, it's super fast. Never had a problem. I can scroll seamlessly between apps, switch seamlessly between apps, and it's always super fast. Now there are instances where my screen will black out. It will lag, and like I'm trying to, I'm in an app and then it will just go black, and then I have to like go out of the app or lock the phone, open it back up. So no phone is perfect. It's technology that's also made by human beings, so I am not expecting a perfect product, but those are just some of the one-off things that I've noticed about the phone. Now on to battery life, guys. After 1 year of usage, guys, I have a 94% battery health, and not great. But this is coming from someone who loves using their phone. I use my phone a lot. It's in my hand majority of the day, and I'm gonna be honest. When I'm watching a lot of reviews, people will have a screen on time of like 3 hours, and I'm like, that is not realistic in 2025. I don't know what you're doing. Maybe you have a tablet somewhere that you're scrolling on, but there's no way you're getting a screen on time of 2 hours and then you're gonna tell me about battery life. Yeah, of course you're gonna end the day with 30%. Like, you didn't do anything on your phone. So I am well, I'm not addicted. I'm trying not to be addicted, but well, Apple combines my screen time with my iPad, so I feel like this is kind of like disingenuous. But I will say, for my iPhone, I probably average between 6 to 8 hours a day. Should I bring it down? Yes, but I'm just being realistic, honestly. I get about 6 to 8 hours of screen on time a day, and my battery health after a year is 94%. So, battery life has honestly been, I think it's the weakest point of this phone. The iPhone 16 Pro does come with a 3,582 milliamp hour battery, which is it's an okay increase, coming from my 13 Pro. I think I gave that phone away at 76%. So yeah, the battery has probably been the more weaker point of the phone. Like I usually Wake up, my phone, I would charge my phone to 100. I've changed that. My max charging is like 90 now. I would charge it to 100 and I would go to work, whether like I'm on the phone or I'm listening to music, and I will get to the office at like 70%. And um and then when I'm at the office, I, will scroll here and there, but I would have to top up before I leave the office. So, not really that great. I am trying to be more mindful of my screen usage, but I would say hopefully Apple can. I don't know when Apple is gonna even. I don't even think Samsung has incorporated the silicone batteries yet. The carbon silicone batteries yet. Thinner and bigger batteries, but we need more batteries. Okay, everything is online. Everything's on our phones. There's no reason why we still have to be topping up on the go. But it would really be nice to just charge my phone once and throughout the day. So that's really been like my main complaint. Now, the beloved triple camera system. This camera it's been good. I've been able to get pretty good shots with the camera. I use it mostly for video. And whenever I see something pretty, I'll just take a picture. The camera control the camera control gets too much hate. I'm sorry. I love this button, and I don't care. You can call me Apple Glazer. I freaking love this button. Usually on your lock screen, you can just swipe and open the camera app, but I have been finding myself pressing this button for at every slightest inconvenience. I've never triggered it by accident. I don't know what kind of cases people have on their phone. I've never triggered it by accident. I've never repurposed, or I don't know if you could reroute it. But I love this button and I love the camera system. Obviously, it's a 48 megapixel main sensor, and if I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I have not shot anything in RAW or log, but I do know it has. My main settings are 4K 60. The 4K shots are great. I'll try and insert some things that I've probably recorded, but it's been great. There has been some times where I feel like the camera is really bad. Like, it's really like there's some days where it seems like an off day. And sometimes I do feel like my iPhone 13 Pro had better pictures than my iPhone 16 Pro. But I don't know if it's like a processing issue. I don't know if it's like my camera lenses were blurry at the time. But I do feel like the camera quality was inconsistent, but more consistent than not. So that's really been like my main thing. One thing I love about these cameras are the macro lenses. I would say I love taking macro shots. Like, I would like take pictures of my arm hairs. I'm like, wow, this is so cool. I got this with my phone. So with the iPhone 16 Pro, you get a 48 megapixel main sensor, you get a 48 megapixel ultra wide, and a 12 megapixel telephoto. So yeah, it's been really good. I got this I said, what? I got this beautiful shot at Union Station that I just love, and I still can't believe I got this picture with my phone. It's absolutely gorgeous. All I did was add a little, for the iPhone 16, they have these color profiles, and it's been, I use it sometimes, more so for like the cinematic stuff, but it's a very nice feature to have, especially if you're into phone photography. So storage, my iPhone 13 Pro, I got it with 128 gigabytes. Never maxed out on storage. I feel like I'm pretty responsible when it comes to storage, but I did decide to upgrade to the 256 gigabyte version of the iPhone 16 Pro, and it's been pretty decent. Honestly, CapCut takes so much space. If you know, you know. But I do pay for a monthly iCloud storage, so I have all my photos and passwords and all that backed up to my iCloud. I do, however, keep my messages on my phone and stuff. So storage has been pretty good. Like I said, I've never maxed out on storage at my 128, so I think I should be good. After 1 year, after 1 year, I have a storage of 188 out of 256, which I feel like is pretty decent. This phone should be able to last me for the next 2.5, 3 years. So, um, I think the best thing anybody could do as an Apple user is to get iCloud storage, just to save space, especially like honestly, I when it comes to my pictures, I don't have like 20,000 photos. I have like 5,000 photos on my iCloud, but still be as don't be a hoarder with your things. I know memories are important, but whatever you can do to save storage, just save it. Connectivity and ecosystem, it's been great as far as connection is concerned. My call quality is pretty great. I think it's more so my provider. I've been beefing with T-Mobile because I feel like the service has been really mid, and I don't know if it's because of the antennas, but the call quality has been pretty. I don't really have any complaints. I'm not really a phone caller person. I'm not gonna lie. The USB-C was an interesting transition from the lightning cable. I think it was a needed transition, but obviously Apple no longer provides the charging brick. You have to get that yourself, so I had to buy a whole new set of charging bricks separately, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. I paid $1,199 for this phone. I did buy it through my provider, which I will never do again. But is it worth the money? I'm not gonna lie, I will sound like a glazer, but Apple makes some good products. The build of the phone, the way it feels in my hand, the cameras, the ProMotion screen, the overall aesthetic of the phone. I don't feel like any phone is worth over $1,000, but I feel like it is what it is. I think it's a great phone. It's a great build, and there's something about the reliability of Apple and reliability. They say sentence. I retract my statement. I consider myself a pretty reliable person. When as far as technology is concerned, I really don't play with tech, so I really try to be as responsible as possible. But I feel like it's a overall great product. Like the design, everything. I feel like it's pretty decent. Now, will I upgrade? Heck no. Have y'all seen the renders for the 17? No, thank you. I think the 16 Pro models will be the last of its kind. And if you could get if you are in need of an upgrade and you don't like the way the iPhone 17s look, this is probably your last chance to upgrade to a 16 Pro. And I believe you will not regret it. iPhone 17 series is promising. A lot of the things that usually happen every year: faster chips, bigger batteries, upgraded design for the Pro models, and it's actually a new model coming out with the iPhone 17 Air, which looks cute. But I'm a Pro girly, so I'm gonna focus on the pros. Should you get the iPhone 17? If you have been struggling with your iPhone 14 or earlier, I would say it's not horrible. The iPhone 14 is still a solid. I feel like iPhone 13 and 14 are still very, very solid. Unless your battery is like irreplaceable. Like, to be honest, if you have an iPhone 13 that's like 70% battery, you can literally spend just like $100 and replace your battery, and you'll be good. Like, you don't have to get the latest tech all the time. But if you are an Apple enthusiast and you want to get an iPhone 17, be my guest. But I think the iPhone 16 is a very unique model, and like I said, it will be the last of its kind with this camera island. The size is great, and I think after a year, my only complaint is the battery. So I wish more companies would accommodate more mid-sized phones. Like, this is 6.3 inches, which is decent for me. It's perfect for me, actually. But like I want something like 6.5, and that's why I've been eyeing the Samsung Z Flip 7, because 6.5 inches is perfect. And I want pro features in a middle to large size phone. I think that's something that these companies should really start accommodating. But that is my post 1 year review of the iPhone 16 Pro. Sorry if it wasn't techy enough for you. This is like my first full length YouTube video, so everyone bear with me, please. There will be more content coming out. I'm so excited to finally start my channel. So please hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and stay tuned for more. Peace.